Well, spring storms certainly firing up across the country. This week, we're going to see some strong to severe thunderstorms, maybe some tornadoes too, and the weather pattern will start to shift up. We're going to talk about that in this videos and maybe some surprises again as we wrap up April. Here's where we are on the upper levels right now. A decent ridge building here across the east. We do have a bit of a trough across the west, and this upper low is going to swing into the west coast. That's going to cool things down. If you look at the overall pattern, though, this is a warm one. I mean, temperatures quite warm across a good chunk of the country. However, this right here is going to be your change maker as it swings into the west coast as we go into the weekend into next week. This could really shift things up across the central U.S. And you know what? I think it's going to bring more rain across the central plains, the northern plains, and this could target our severe weather maybe a little bit further to the north. We'll look at that in the video today. Quite a bit of rain, shower activity, and big thunderstorms going across Texas, Oklahoma. Some heavy rain in this part of the country through the morning hours. These storms will continue to billow and push off to the east, and they'll rekindle as we head into the afternoon. So the risk for some severe weather on the table today from west central Kansas, I maybe even a little bit further to the north, all the way down into Texas. The possibility of some damaging winds, some hail, and that extends all the way into the Great Lakes too. And even into the southeast, there's a chance of a few strong storms. The problem, though, I think, would be a couple of tornadoes. Not crazy on the high-end tornado risk, but a few of them across West Texas, also across West Kansas, and also into Oklahoma and into the east. Again, not a huge severe risk today, but there could be a few strong to severe storms across parts of the Carolinas, down into south and east Georgia, maybe even as far north as Macon. So that's what we're looking like today. Heading into tomorrow, that risk pretty much in the same area. Not quite as high, but now you got to worry about the repeating storms, the possibility of some flooding. Anytime you get rain like what we're seeing and these really strong thunderstorms, flash flooding always a concern, and more thunderstorms across the central U.S. as we head into the day 3 period. Here's a look at the overall outlook across the country. Quite a bit of rain shower activity across the south. So we're going to see quite a few clouds, thunderstorms popping up this afternoon. Again, some of them could get strong. We'll dive into region by region maps here in just a moment. But as we move into the afternoon, things do calm down into Thursday as well. Now into Friday morning, this starts to push off to the east. We're dealing with more showers across the Ohio Valley toward the Great Lakes region, and high pressure starts to build in across the Great Lakes. That means drier conditions, some cooler weather too, although it's been kind of chilly across the northern Great Lakes the last couple of days. We've warmed up now, but we're back down again. We dry out too as our front pushes south, low pressure moving through the northeast, and then the shower activity really gets squelched and pushed down along our boundary. Once we head into next week, though, this is where the big change happens. Low pressure moving out of the Rockies. It's going to bring some snow and rain here. Now the question is, do we get some kind of severe weather outbreak heading into Monday and Tuesday? It's a time period I think we have to watch with all of this energy kicking out into the plains. Let's talk about what we're looking at today across the south. Some of these storms could pulse up pretty strong here into the afternoon and evening hours across middle Georgia, down into the low country of South Carolina, eastern North Carolina, Wilmington, back to Myrtle Beach, Charleston, all the way down, maybe even as far north and west as Augusta, and then down towards Savannah. So some heavy rain, some storms possible. And back into Mississippi and southern Tennessee, there could be some strong storms through the evening hours that pulse up. Some heavy rain. So Tupelo down to Starkville. Heavy rain possible, even as far north as Jackson, Tennessee, up towards Nashville, a few storms here, and a bit of a southerly flow. You can kind of see how the storm motion is this way. This pushes the rain shower activity into East Tennessee, into Kentucky, at least the concentrated storms as we head into Thursday. So a few of these could get strong here into the southern and central Appalachians here from eastern Kentucky down to southwest Virginia, western Tennessee, western North Carolina. Now we've pushed the storms into North Georgia, so from Atlanta, Rome, north to Chattanooga. More storms and showers back across West Tennessee and Missouri, not nearly as concentrated as this batch moving east, and then everything kind of moves north. So we've pushed our storms from here now north as we move through the week. All right, temperatures today hot across the south. However, we will see quite a bit of cloud cover, so that will keep our temperatures back a little bit. Further to the north, into the Great Lakes, kind of dry across Michigan, at least to start the day. Some showers try to work along the Michigan-Indiana border, and some heavier showers to the west across northern Illinois toward Chicago, north up towards Milwaukee. We'll see some showers into the afternoon, a few rumbles of thunder. Some of these could get on the strong side this afternoon across central Iowa, pushing out into southern Wisconsin. And then as we head into the evening, again, these are going to be driven by the heating of the afternoon, so they do start to settle down somewhat. And then tomorrow afternoon, I think more storms start to rekindle. However, they're not going to be, I don't think, as strong as what we're going to see today. More of a widespread rain moving into parts of Wisconsin and then into the UP of Michigan with some showers. And then that pushes off to the east, kind of a larger batch of rain now heading into early Friday morning. Temperatures warmer in this region anyway, back up into the 50s and 60s where we were in the 30s and 40s. And there's that warm air across the Ohio Valley. Typical springtime warmth here in the 70s. Into the northeast, we're dry for now. Not looking too bad. Pretty nice day. In fact, some showers do try to scrape into parts of western New York as we head into the overnight and then into Thursday. Really Thursday afternoon, Thursday evening. These push into parts of northern New York, the upstate, Vermont, New Hampshire. So rain showers here. And we're talking about rain, no snow. So looking pretty good. Maybe top of Mount Washington, a little bit of snow, but other than that, temperatures today looking pretty nice. Kind of cold, though, as we wake up Thursday morning, down below freezing, but we do rebound nicely back up into the 60s and 70s, even into New England. However, Maine, cool, typically in the 40s and 50s. Across Texas, this is where we're looking today for that severe weather. Those big storms going this morning, pushing east through East Texas now with some heavy rain possible out of these. Some of these could continue their strength with some gusty winds, some hail. And now we watch the afternoon across Kansas and Oklahoma for these storms to really pulse up. Now, exactly where they're going to form, I think, is the question. But anywhere in this area, you could get a strong to severe storm. Tornadoes certainly possible. It's not a huge off-the-chart risk day today, but you can see how these storms are showing up on the future radar. And more rain here. Someone was telling me, please bring the rain to Kansas, and you might actually see maybe a little bit too much at one time. But as we push the radar forward over the next several days, multiple chances of rain here where we've been kind of dry. And with all of the clouds and the scattered showers, temperatures will be kind of all over the place, up and down with the clouds and the rain. You may get hot, then you get cooled down with the rain. Across the northern plains, up towards the Canadian border, a little bit cool here, but we've got showers more concentrated across North and South Dakota, and maybe some snow trying to mix in here across eastern Wyoming into western parts of South Dakota, up into the higher elevations. Temperatures today in the 70s across Iowa and Nebraska. We're back into the 40s, maybe even 30s up near the U.S.-Canadian border. Across the southwest, hot, dry. That changes, though. As this system moves ashore, some onshore flow picks up, and that's going to bring, look at this, precipitation maybe into Southern California as we head into the weekend. Some snow into the Sierra, into Northern California, into the higher elevations. Rain, that cold air aloft is what's going to be causing this. It's like a bowling ball of cold air moving east and north. So with that said, as this kicks off into the Rockies, more rain and snow moving toward Salt Lake City and into Colorado, Wyoming. And then that continues to drive east, and it's going to bring our next round of severe weather. And there's a look at your temperatures for today. And then into the Pacific Northwest, we'll feel the impact of that next storm too. After a few dry days, however, some showers across Northern California and Washington. And then here comes the stronger precipitation heading into Friday and Saturday, wrapping around that upper low with scattered showers across the Pacific Northwest. And here's a look at your temperatures for today. Depending on your elevation, that will really drive your temperatures. All right, looking really long range, day 4, day 5, day 6, we do have an increased chance of that severe weather. So it is starting to show up on that long range map once you look out toward Monday and Tuesday. So this is the time period to watch if you're looking long term. And again, it's going to be because of this. It's that bowling ball of cold air we were just talking about across the west. As that moves east, we've got a weather story to watch next week. So if you're brand new, hope you'll come back. I'm Travis. Used to be a chief meteorologist years ago on TV. So I've been out of the business for a while, but I'm a weather geek at heart. And if you're a weather geek like me, you just like to follow the weather, whatever, it's fine. I hope you'll come back. All right. Hope you have a great Wednesday. Halfway there through the week. All right. See ya.